Well, hello there. Well, hello there. And welcome to another edition of Johnny Davis Live. Just trying to get on track here today on this final day of January 2025. Hope everybody's doing great out there today. I want to start the show off certainly with my sincere condolences to all of the lives that were lost on the American Airlines flight 5342 over in Washington, D.C. Um, I don't know what to say. It's just terrible. You know, when these things, happen, it's like such a finality about it. It's just so done. And so many people are hurt by this thing. I mean, people who are not even directly associated with. I mean, people like me. I mean, I feel terrible about it. My whole family, and I know all of my friends and connections feel the same. And I just wanted to make sure that at least people out there know that even though we're busy with a lot of things, um, that we feel it. We feel it with you, you know, um, and we hope that you'll find peace, in these very, very difficult times. I have a personal story that happened to me just recently. Um, I was flying in, I think it's to Las Vegas, and I'm not kidding you. It was one of the most dire announcements I have ever heard in all of my years of flying. It was saying that, we were getting ready to hit some extreme turbulence, and it was like, if you've never felt this, I mean, it was like really dire. And as much as I'd flown, I said, I've never heard anything that dire. And I thought, you know what? This one, to the point where I even started writing my wife a note. Flying is safe, safer than driving. But when something happens, it's really devastating. So again, my heart and soul, prayers and thoughts go out to all of the families who lost someone in that. And I just wanted to open the show with that. And I know that a lot of people feel the same way out here who are in our community. But please have peace. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to some of the upcoming shows that we have coming on. But before we do that, I want to have a straight up conversation about our organization, the International Kickboxing Federation. There's a lot of things going on in our communities right now. There's a lot of things going on in our country right now. I think that I want to be clear as one of the heads of IKF, along with Ms. Tony Fossum, on where we stand on a few issues. So you guys will know. I know that there are people out there who are very strong about their political, religious views and things like that. And that's fine. That's fine. But from an ICAF organization, what we're not going to do is get in the middle of that. That's why you don't see political posts for me or Tony or someone like that. There's some people obviously who come to our events and they post. They're very passionate about different things, in particular politics. But we're not going to get in the middle of that. We just don't want our officials doing it, right? Because there could be instances of bias in that. We had a situation at even a PKB, a semi-contact tournament, where somebody came out with some political shorts on for a particular party, and they had the name on the trunks that wasn't their name, and it was just political. And we said, no, we're not going to do that because we don't want to insult or offend anyone when it comes to politics when you're at our events. When you're at our events, the only thing that we are concerned about is punching and kicking and kneeing people, right? That's it. I don't care. Whether you leave and you're doing this, that's on you for the most part. But at our events, it's neutral. Okay. So I want everybody to understand that. Do not wear the political wear. at our events. It is a private event held for the public, so we have the right to ask you not to be there if that is the case. Okay, so don't wear it, red or blue. I don't care, and other. I don't care. We don't want to do that. We want to focus on the fighting that we do, and I'm asking everybody to please abide by that. Okay, because if not, and don't be offended, don't be mad with me because I'm saying it in advance. That I'm asking the officials to do the same thing because we want to make sure that everybody feels welcomed at our events. Period. I've had some instances where religion has come up, where there was a fighter, a guy, gentleman, who did not want to wear a shirt, and I don't know who they are, so you guys don't have to say I said their name. I don't have a clue, but it was something about they didn't want to wear. They wanted to wear a T-shirt in their fight. This is not PKB. This is full contact in the ring because of their religion. Okay. Well, you need to know up front that we don't allow that, and the reason why is because damage is an important piece in the full contact. And if you have on a shirt and the other guy doesn't, whose damage do you think you're going to see more of, right? So that is the reason. And we are about fighting. We are not about your religious beliefs or your personal beliefs. Okay, we're not going to get in the middle, but we are about fairness and equality. So I had him take the shirt off, and I had the trainer. I remember vaguely someone coming up and saying, "Well, I didn't think that was right." Well, that's fine, but we're about fairness. Okay, so when you have those type of beliefs, you need to look at our organization and you decide whether or not you want to compete in the event. But we have rules for a reason, and those rules stem around, again, fairness and equity. I've already talked about the gender part some years ago, and I'll say it again. I know there's like USA Boxing and some others who are allowing cross genders to fight in divisions. Now, we have semi-contact competitions where a boy might fight a girl because there's no knockouts, okay? But when it comes to full contact, we're not going to get into how you feel about yourself. That's personal. But what we are going to get into how you were born. Okay? And that's the division that you're going to fight in. Okay? So I want everybody to understand that. That's important. We're not going to get into the politics of it. Okay? But how you were born is how, yeah, until we create separate divisions for things like that or whatever, then that is the way it is. I want everyone to just understand on those 3 points where the ICAF stands, and we're going to move forward with the organization and trying to make sure that we give everybody a fair shake, that we come out and we have fun. But that also go for the fans. As I said, we don't want fans coming out there with a bunch of political wear on one side or the other and taunting almost. Don't do that. Just come and enjoy the show, have a good time, and then we'll continue to move forward. I just thought I wanted to share that with you today. I already knew that when I put that up there, that people were going to be saying, "Hey, you know what? He's talking about those taboo subjects." Yeah, I'm okay with talking about it because I'm very comfortable with those subjects, and I'm very comfortable in having a conversation with anyone who wants to have a conversation with me about those professionally, respectfully, and all of that. I'm not going to yell and shout. We're not going to do that. We're going to have a conversation. The other part that I want to talk about before we go into some of the other events that we have going on is about unity in our kickboxing IKF community. Okay, when you are IKF, we want to have some level of courtesy and respect for each other. Okay, that includes the events. We can't have you cursing at another promoter or threatening and all of that. What we do as an organization, we're going to try to keep events separated enough so they don't directly affect each other, or so that people are not pillaging or taking from fight cards and all. We don't want to do all that. We're not going to do that. If we hear about people doing that, that is going to be a problem for our organization, right? So even if we know that we have two competing groups, and ideally speaking, we again set the calendar so these are groups. The promoters don't ideally compete with each other. Sometimes it might be a little close, right? But we don't want you out there bad mouthing another IKF promoter. We don't want you out there trying to hurt another IKF promoter. We want unity in our IKF community, and I know how difficult that is. So please do not badmouth, whether this is semi-contact or full contact. If you have an issue, you can bring it to me. right? But we don't want people out there bad mouthing, talking junk about, an eye care promoter, fellow promoter, right? Because we want to continue to try to grow as an organization. Okay. So I just want to bring those things out and making sure that everybody gets a fair shake and all the different things that we are doing. Okay. If we can do that, we're going to be awesome. We're going to continue to grow and continue to represent our sport well. I want to talk a little bit now about some upcoming events. We have the what is it called, the Mid Atlantic Grand Championship fight that's coming up. It's a PKB. It's a semi-contact event. Really exciting event, right? We've done it like twice now. Actually, the first event we did was actually the largest in the whole East Coast. Over 200 some competitors, a lot of fun. It's hosted by Mr. Don Roger and Mr. TK King. They do a great job along with us. And so we're inviting your teams to come out to this event on February 8th, right there in Morrisville, North Carolina. Should be a great time. We do a lot more belts, a lot more awards and things like that. And also check it out. You can contact Mr. Don Rogers. Information is on there. The registration is not on the platform. The event is, the registration goes to the apexmac.com/IKPKB. That's where the register, but all of it end up on the platform. So we'll be running the event still through the platform. Hey, but guys, come check that out on February the 8th in Morrisville, North Carolina. Should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to seeing all of your teams there. Now, we got to talk about the ICAP Spring Classic that's coming up on March the 14th and 15th. Basically 2 days. We got more through the 16th on there. But we really do pretty much the event. We do all the weigh-ins and stuff for the full contact on the 14th, and then we do all the fights on the 15th. That is a good event. That event has been around between the spring and the fall. That event has been around about 12, 13, 14 years, something like that. And really, truly, it has been a true incubator for all of the contact sports. All of the contact sports, but in particular Muay Thai and kickboxing. When I first moved back from California about 12, 13 years ago, whatever it's been, might be 14 years, this area had hardly no Muay Thai and kickboxing. They might have had a few gyms, but there were no events hardly going on. That is a fact, right? And I started with the East Coast Classic, started with PKBs, and we built it up and we incubated like thousands of fighters that now support us and other events. Now we have probably between South and North Carolina, we probably have 6 promoters doing Muay Thai and kickboxing, and they're being successful with it. And you hurry up and believe, yes, I feel somewhat responsible, all right, for helping all of the region because that was the plan, right? Fighters see that there's opportunities for them to fight. Great. Trainers see there's opportunities for their fighters to fight. Great. Potential business people see the sport then as a potential business to promote and be a promoter. That's how this game works. So that's how we have these more promoters because they saw our success and now they're doing it and they have a level of success. Guess what? It's just the way it is. When you grow something and build something, you can't hang on to every piece of it. People, it's like the cell phone, right? You have iPhone, you have Android, right? So it's the way it is. If it's good, people do it. So the East Coast Classic has done its job. It is successful. It's not as big, but it's a good event, right? And it's going to continue to be a good event. Whether I have one or two, I'll decide. If the other events are everybody's doing great and all of the fighters are now having their itch scratched to fight in the region, we're successful. That's what it is. So, but the East Coast Classic has been that barometer, has been to set the bar for a lot of these events. It is giving these fighters a place to showcase their skills, and it's helped out all of these promotion events around in the area. And I'm very, very, very proud of it. Our event on March the 15th is going to be a nice fighting event, right? We're going to have a nice fight. I say fight night, but it could be day and night fights. And all, but one time we had right at 100 and some fights right after COVID, right? We're not going to have that many fights. We might have 25, 30, 40 fights, whatever. That's okay, right? But we also have the PKB. Now, the PKB there at the Spring Classic has grown tremendously. And in fact, the PKB at the Spring Classic is actually bigger now than the actual full contact tournament. That's not by accident either, because the PKB is very popular, very, very, very popular, right? And people come out, have a great time with that as well. I think that we had somewhere around 50 some fights at the last one. I think last year, not the one in Harris, but the one in the spring. And we had like 123 PKB fighters. I mean, so it's growing tremendously. So that's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we also, as you can see up there on the top, we also have the PBSC, which is the point boxing sparring, and that is growing as well. And thanks to Mr. Rafael Mendoza over there in California, who's on fire with it, doing a great job. But we have PBSC going on in Missouri. We have PBFs up and down the East Coast over here, and people love that. That's all boxing, where you can come out and you can work those hands, right? And better footwork, head movement, right? PBSC is hot. It is a great event. We are going to have it at the East Coast Classic. See what I mean? So what's happening is that the the East Coast Classic is expanding, but it's becoming a little more diverse, right? And that is a great thing, right? So if you want to just do those hands, you want to work those hands and come out in a semi-contact environment where knockouts are not allowed, bring your team to the East Coast Classic. You can get registered at IKFFightPlatform.com. Now, one of the other programs that we've also added to the East Coast Classic is the BJJ Super Fights. That's right. If you want to get on the ground and you want to roll a little bit, you can also register for the BJJ tournament that's also there. That's going to be on Saturday evening. That's going to start around 5 o'clock, right? So if you want to come and you want to do the BJJ, right, great opportunity to come out and get in some good rolling. I'm going to say good rolling, all right? But it is a lot of fun. Okay, and I can tell you that because we just did our first event last weekend in Denver, North Carolina. And between the PKB and the BJJ, that's Blue Coast Jiu-Jitsu, between those two events, we had over 100 competitors. It was fantastic. Pat Gym, right? So Mr. Nick Ferreira, I'm probably saying his last name wrong, does a great job. What he does is he sets up super fights, right? And so on the last event, we had our pay-per-view. All the fights were pre-matched. And man, it was nice. If you want to see some of it, you can go to my AK Promotions page on Facebook. And you can see some of the matches. Really, really good. Those guys are like anacondas tying each other up, man. It's really exciting. So we have that on March the 15th at the East Coast Classic. That is a reason to bring your team who wants to roll, right? So the East Coast Classic, as I said, has become something different. It's become something that is helping all fight sports. Not all of them, but many of them, right? And we do all of that on one weekend, right? Now we're doing events across the country all throughout the year and all, but we are inviting you and your teams to come out. Now, right now, going on the IKFFightPlatform.com, you can go there and register for all of these events. Now, for the BJJ, there's a link there that you can register for on SmoothCom. The spectators will be coming through the platform, but the fighters can register on SmoothComp, right? A lot of you guys who are in the BJJ know about SmoothComp and everything. So go there and you can go ahead and get registered for that event. And then when it's time to come and check them out, you just go back to the platform. You can buy your spectator tickets. It's a lot of fun, man. I'm telling you, those guys really do a good job. And we're hoping that you'll bring your teams out to the BJJ portion of the Spring Classic. It's going to be fun. Another thing that we are doing on our Spring Classic are the the super fights. Now, we're not going to have that many super fights, but some of the high-end fights of guys with more experience, we're looking at about 3 or 4, maybe 5 right now. Just got the paperwork in for a really big super heavyweight fight. That is going to be hot. 5 rounds. Unified rules. Just got the paperwork in. I'll get all the flyers out stuff next week. And all, but that is going to be fun. So I want you guys to get ready for that one. And it looks like we might have a couple of other exciting fights that we'll talk about a little bit later. So again, along with the Spring Classic, there's a lot going on. PKB, PBSC, BJJ, and Super Fights, right? It is a reason to come out and check out that event. And guess what? It's at the beach, people. It's at the beach, Myrtle Beach, at the Landmark. By the way, I would highly suggest that any of you guys who are planning on coming to go ahead and book your rooms at the Landmark. If you go to IKFIplatform.com, there's a link on there, and the rates are great. Really, 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 really good rates at the Landmark. We want you to stay at the Landmark, support the event, right? Show them that we have the support. And also go to IKFIplatform.com. There's a phone number on there that you can call in and you can go ahead and book your rooms. I'm going to highly suggest you book those rooms now. Because if you wait right good until we get to the event, guess what? It's spring break. Spring break, Myrtle Beach. If it's the weather is good, man, it's over. You can't hardly find a room over there, right? And I mean, most of the rooms like under $100, maybe a little bit over, right? And some of, but hey, it's great rate. So get those rooms now. And you can. This is under our code. You can stay there. Obviously, trainers, your family members can stay there. Use the code. Use the discount, right? We'll use it, right? It's on the website. It's open for you to use. Use it, right? We don't make money from it or anything like that, but it does help them show that we have, a good following. We've been very successful with that over the years. So please come out to Myrtle Beach at the ICAF Spring Classic. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be something exciting. It's a little bit for everybody as we kind of change it around a little bit, open it up to more and more people, more and more athletes, and give you a reason to come down to the beach. I mean, just the beach alone is a reason to come. But we certainly hope that you will join us on that weekend. All right. So another event that I'm working on, I have a lot. Going on. That's just a fact. Okay. Trying to grow this sport. We love this sport. It is a great sport. It just takes the work. Okay. So what we've done, for years now, I've been working with Chad Mueller. Chad Mueller's kind of passed it on to Mr. Sadiq Holmes. And we have some good promoters over there like Chris Lee with Kanos Fight League. And so they've been very successful with PKB tournaments, the semi-contact. We've also done a full contact event there. That was very successful in the very first one last year. By the way, it's in Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, one of the coldest places I've ever been in my life. That is the truth. But people came out like crazy for that first event that we did. So now we have our second one coming up, and we turned it into a tournament fight night, just like the Spring Classic. So we got the Midwest Classic going on. It is going to be phenomenal. I mean, it's coming together quite well. Registration is happening right now on the website. You can see the information on the screen there. I think it's ICAF Midwest, I believe. Actually, the registration is on the platform, ICAFplatform.com. So you can go get registered for that event. That's coming up soon, February 15th. That's before the Spring Classic in Myrtle Beach. But it's going to be a good event. We have some super fights that we're working on. I think that's one of the super fights that those two fighters, Sotero and Pham, super fights. Those guys got, excuse me, have a lot of experience. We're setting up a few of those. And also, it's a reason to bring your team. Got a lot of brackets, simple brackets there. Novice, C class, excuse me, B class, A class. They're there, and you can continue to register for that event as well. Midwest, stand up. Midwest, stand up. We're coming with some great full contact action. Mr. Chris Lee, like I said, with Connell's Fight League, working with him, Mr. Sadiq Holmes. It's gonna be a fun event. I will also be there and make sure things run smoothly and all. We got all the coverage that we need, doctors, ambulance, insurance, and all that stuff. So it's a great reason to come out and bring your team. I really do hope you will support that event as well. More to come on the Midwest. Because that area has been hot for a while. Mr. Chad Mueller has just announced that he's back in it again. He had to take a little break there for a moment. but he has his fight card coming up on May the 3rd. And all. He's got a doubleheader, PKB event, and all of that, right? And full contact. So I want you to always support Chad. Chad's got good stuff going on. Great guy, great family. Chad has about 2 clubs over there right now, and he's killing it. He's doing a great job. He's a smart guy, doing a great job, and has done a great job in the past with us with the PKB. I remember out of the blue, Chad just called me one day and said, "Hey, I wanna do some promotions. I love the PKB concept and what it's all about. And you know what? I want to be a part of it." And there was no turning back at that point. He's been doing a great job. Passed on the rep duties to to Mr. Sadiq Holmes, who's doing a fantastic job, and continue that. I'm gonna put this up, this belt up right now to show you about the belts that we award at the ICAF World Classic that's coming up in July 18th and 20th through the 20th at the Westgate Casino in Las Vegas, baby, the fight capital of the world. You need to check out this event. We did it there this past year. It was successful. It was good. And we're inviting you to bring your teams back, right? This the Westgate is a top quality casino. It's a home of Elvis Presley, right? Nice rooms, nice food, everything is there. Everything is there, right? And all. And so we're inviting you to come out to that event. Go ahead and get registered. It's also on the platform, icarefightplatform.com, or you can also do it on the icarefightsports.com website, right? Men, women, juniors, seniors over 40 can fight at that event. So, again, the open divisions can fight for this belt. The novice divisions fight for a huge cup. I mean, huge, it's big, right? And all, but the A class and B class divisions will fight for a belt similar to that. Different color, similar to that. That belt is really heavy. I mean, you can hit somebody in the head. I mean, no, I shouldn't say that, but it's a really, really heavy belt, right? This is an honor, this event. And our late CEO, Mr. Steve Fossum, right, we lost a couple of years ago now, and who put so much work into the IKF organization as a whole. And I ride his back, guys. I ride his coattail. He taught me a lot about this business and about this industry. And he and his wife and I have joined forces to continue the organization along with his daughter Fallon and all of our officials to try to run a great organization and make it even better, right? And even bigger. And we are growing. And so we want you guys to be a part, even whether it's the World Classic or whether it's our other ICAF events going on. We appreciate your support. The PKB, PMT will also be a part of the World Classic. I think we're doing it on a Friday night this time. That should be on the PMT West. I think that is on the poster there, pmtwest.org website. And you can register for that. So we're going to try to get the PKB done out of the way on Friday night, Friday evening, and all. And so come on down. That'll give you Friday to be able to compete, right? And if you have fighters that want to do the full contact for Saturday and Sunday, well, you know what? Now they're open to do that. So take a look at the schedule. It's on the icarefightplatform.com and fightsports.com, and you can see what's going on. If you have questions, the contact number's on there for Tony and myself, and we can guide you. We also have 5 rule styles. We have international rules. We have unified rules. We have a modified Muay Thai, and we have full rule Muay Thai, and we're going to also do the freestyle kickboxing. Okay, that's what throws, right? And also that's popular, getting a lot of fun, get some traction, and also a lot of reasons to come to Las Vegas. And don't wait, because the registration is going up and up and up and up. Right now it's only like $85 or something, but it's going to keep going up. Why pay more if you know you're coming, right? But it's up to you. It's there. It's available. IKF fightplatform.com for the IKF World Classic. It is actually going to be a blast yet again. And we're looking forward to having everyone there, all of your teams, to come there and be a part of this great event, and something that, again, Mr. Steve Fossum put his heart and soul in for many, many years. I mean, I think the event now is like 26 years like 26 years or something like that. It is a reason to come to the World Classic, just to respect his work for one. And then it's a great event, all right, to come to. Hope to see you guys there. All right, guys. I think that is pretty much all I had for you today. I always have something. I could sit here and probably talk all day long, but of course, I'm not going to do that. But I just want to make sure I give you some good information. But again, always talking about the Spring Classic. I like to close out with that because, that's a tournament that I do here, locally. Want to make sure you guys know about that. And remember, too, guys, on our iCare Fight platform, we have a lot of events. That PBSC, I think we have one going on in California this weekend. Go check that out. Mr. Rafael Mendoza is doing this thing. We're getting back on track with PMTs and PKBs and all that, as I said, on February 8th across the country. Check out those events, guys. I mean, they're fun. I'm not kidding you. I don't understand why anybody would jump into a full contact event just without trying one of these first, right? Come on down, as they say on The Price is Right, because I believe with everything that's in me that you're going to have a great time. Your team's going to have a great time. Your family and friends are going to have a great time. And so please, as a Davis Live, always respect each other. This is Ronnie Davis Live, and I'm